After 7 heartfelt, hilarious, and sometimes tearful seasons, young Sheldon has finally reached its bittersweet conclusion, marking the end of an era for the Cooper family and giving fans a bridge to the Big Bang Theory. The finale wasn't just a goodbye to Sheldon's Texas childhood. It was a farewell to a family that shaped one of television's most iconic geniuses. But what exactly happened to the Coopers? Let's take a closer look at how young Sheldon wrapped up each of their stories, what it means for the Big Bang Theory universe, and the emotional impact left behind. A tragic goodbye, the loss of George Sr. The show's final episodes delivered the long-anticipated tragedy fans knew was coming, the death of George Cooper Sr. From the Big Bang Theory, viewers already knew that Sheldon's father died when he was 14. However, seeing it play out in young Sheldon added a deeply emotional layer that the original sitcom never had time to explore. In the penultimate episode, George's passing happens off-screen, through a phone call that changes everything. While the Big Bang Theory's Sheldon often painted his father as a flawed, beer-loving, somewhat lazy man, young Sheldon showed us the opposite, a hardworking, kind father who carried the emotional weight of a complicated family. His death is sudden, devastating, and a turning point for every member of the Cooper family. Missy and Georgie break down in tears. Mary becomes lost between her faith and her grief. And Sheldon? He retreats inward, using logic as a shield from heartbreak, a coping mechanism that fans of the Big Bang Theory will instantly recognize. The finale reminds us that the reason Sheldon became so emotionally distant wasn't just because he was a genius, but because he was a boy who lost the first hero in his life, his dad. Mary Cooper's journey, from grief to faith. Zoe Perry's portrayal of Mary Cooper in young Sheldon adds depth to a character who was once a caricature of religious conservatism. After George's death, Mary finds herself wrestling with her faith. How can a loving God take away her husband so suddenly? Her struggle mirrors what many real families experience after loss, the tension between belief and heartbreak. By the finale's end, Mary channels her pain into a renewed commitment to faith and family. We begin to see shades of the Mary Cooper that Laurie Metcalf, Perry's real-life mother, played in the Big Bang Theory, the overprotective, church-going mother who tries to anchor her son with religion and love. Her story feels complete. She's lost her partner but found a renewed purpose to guide Sheldon toward his destiny, even when she doesn't fully understand it. Georgie's maturity and Mandy's new chapter. For much of young Sheldon, Georgie was the lovable screw-up, a high school dropout with more charm than common sense. But by the end, he grows into a responsible young man. His relationship with Mandy becomes one of the show's most heartwarming developments. Together, they welcome baby CC, marking the first real symbol of hope for the Coopers after tragedy. CBS has already announced that Georgie and Mandy's first marriage will continue their story in a spin-off, meaning the Cooper saga isn't entirely over. This next chapter promises to show how Georgie learns to balance business, marriage, and fatherhood, a journey that could redefine how audiences view the dumb older brother from the Big Bang Theory. In many ways, Georgie becomes the emotional glue holding what's left of the Cooper family together. Missy's teenage rebellion and emotional growth. Missy Cooper, often the scene stealer with her razor-sharp wit and eye rolls, also gets a deeply emotional arc in the final episodes. Her relationship with her dad was special. She saw through his flaws and loved him for who he was. Losing him leaves Missy furious, confused, and heartbroken. But her story isn't one of despair. Instead, it shows the birth of a strong, independent woman who refuses to be defined by tragedy. Fans of the Big Bang Theory know that Missy eventually grows up, has kids, and remains close to her family. But young Sheldon gives us the missing emotional foundation for why she's so grounded. She learns to carry her father's memory not as a burden, but as strength. Mee-maw's loss and resilience. Annie Potts' Mee-maw has always been the show's wild card, funny, fearless, and fiercely loyal to her family. She loses both her house and her son, but her spirit doesn't break. Even as she grieves, she remains a pillar for Mary, Georgie, and especially Sheldon. Mee-maw's character reminds us of a recurring young Sheldon theme, that love, no matter how unconventional, keeps families together. In one touching scene, she quietly tells Sheldon that his father loved him more than he'll ever know, a line that perfectly connects young Sheldon to the Big Bang Theory and redefines how we see George S.R.'s legacy. Sheldon's next step, leaving for Caltech. The final moments of young Sheldon are both nostalgic and poetic. After all the laughter, science experiments, and family dinners, we finally see Sheldon standing alone, a boy genius on the verge of becoming the man we met in the Big Bang Theory. He's accepted to Caltech, setting the stage for the next chapter of his life. As he says goodbye to his family in Texas, the scene carries a mix of pride and sorrow. It's not just a move to California. It's the symbolic moment when the sheltered boy becomes the socially awkward genius who will one day win a Nobel Prize. The show closes with adult Sheldon, voiced by Jim Parsons, reflecting on his childhood. In a moving surprise, Parsons appears on screen alongside Mayim Bialik, Amy Farrah Fowler, as the adult versions of Sheldon and Amy, showing that the story we've been watching all along is Sheldon's own memory, his way of honoring where he came from. The final words are simple but powerful. I was lucky to have them. For a man who often struggled to express emotion, that line says it all. A perfect bridge between two universes. Young Sheldon's ending doesn't just conclude a prequel. It enriches the Big Bang Theory in ways fans never expected. Every quirky habit, every social flaw, and every emotional barrier Sheldon had in TBBT now carries more meaning. His obsession with routines, born from the chaos of losing his dad. His discomfort with affection, rooted in grief. His deep loyalty to his friends, a reflection of the family that once held him up. The show gave context, warmth, and humanity to a character who once seemed emotionally detached. And it gave audiences something more, a beautiful, bittersweet reminder that behind every genius is a story of love, loss, and family. Final thoughts. The ending of Young Sheldon is not about loss, it's about legacy. The Coopers may be fictional, but their struggles feel deeply real. The finale leaves viewers laughing, crying, and reflecting on the families that shape us, the ones we're born into and the ones we build. As Sheldon boards the train to California, the camera lingers on his face, part fear, part excitement, part heartbreak. It's a visual metaphor for growing up, for saying goodbye, and for the endless journey of becoming who we're meant to be. In the end, young Sheldon wasn't just about a boy genius. It was about the beautiful, messy, loving family that made him one. And that's a story worth remembering.